Hello, how you doing? This is the Queens World Film Festival 2022 kickoff live stream. My name is Mr. M. I'm a board member here at Queens World Film Festival. I'm joined with a lovely panel, starting with Katha Cato, Executive Director of Queens World Film Festival and founder, along with her husband and co-founder, Preston Cato, Artistic Director of Queens World Film Festival. Also with two filmmakers, Urvi Shamji and Mark Acito. And Irvi, I believe, produced a film called Chakras that premiered in the festival this year. And Mark Acito, as it says next to his name, he produced a film called Mad Woman, really great film. And last but very not least, one of my favorite festival associates, festival coordinator, excuse me, Sam Rapola, who held me down the whole festival every time I see you. It was a pleasure to see you. Let me just give everybody one more round of applause. The panel will switch up as we go along. There will be more people joining us. I know we have Matt in the background. We have some other people. I think I have some other cameos. Cordelia, Neha might pop up. So we're going to switch things up, but we're going to try to keep it at a max of 6 people on the screen at a time. And we're going to start with Katha. Congratulations, first of all, Katha and Preston. Congratulations on a successful in-person film festival post-COVID. The whole film community appreciates what you two do for us, me included, as I hope you know. And the floor is yours.
Well, of course, thank you. You know, it was just this morning we were walking down the street, and we said to each other, "Man, we did something."
Yeah, we did.
You know, we're going to the Sunday market, and we're doing the laundry and everything. And like 2 weeks ago, man, we did something. It was really amazing. Everybody contributed to it. We can't do it by ourselves, and it just was an amazing 6 days. And it was just, I'm still kind of blown away. How about you, Press? How are you doing today?
I'm completely blown away, considering we had 5 venues. 2 of them were outside the central area of Long Island City, meaning Flushing Town Hall and Queens Theater. And so that was a bit of a distance, but we had some really good audiences. We had some great films. And Sunday, I believe, when with the films that we screened there, Friday night, pardon me, was a good showing. Molly, wasn't that right? Yeah, it was a good crowd. Then we had a Taiwanese film that the day before. And so everything really worked out quite well. I mean, it was some incredible films from around the world, around the corner.
We had 5 screenings that had over 100 people in them. And that really kind of amazed me. We had some thin, lean screenings also, but by and large, I think a lot of new people came to the festival who hadn't experienced it before. And there was a lot of new stuff. Mr. M certainly brought the excitement and remarkable women. I mean, we were interviewing people, everybody. It was just great. There was just a lot of fun elements that just sort of organically came up. And here we are, the virtual launched today.
Yes, we're launching the virtual leg of the festival today. So today, all the tickets are available on filmfestivalflix.com. The link is in the description. All right, so just go in the description. Also, in the description, there's a link to fill out a survey for culture. It's called Culture for All Survey. It helps us promote the arts in New York City and/or Queens. Kathy, can you tell us a little bit more about that survey before we move on?
Sure. So one of the honorees, Lucy Sexton, really was pivotal in getting the entire cultural community to understand that if we could get it down to just ask for 1% of the city's budget, and they had a couple of different plans the way it could come down, and it really included the little guys like us who don't have our own brick and mortar, and it was just really this incredible push. They had this incredible rally. We did a lot of stuff around that, and we didn't get the full amount that we asked for, but we got more than we have ever received in the arts. And it's looking like we're moving the needle more and more towards this being a standing item at what we expect it to be. The Culture for All survey really is codifying and taking a look at what we believe to be true, which is that the arts and culture in New York are not a sector. It is New York. You either sell tickets to, you either sell food to patrons after they go, or you rent a venue, or you help make props, or you deliver, or you hold down the neighborhood, you give patrons other places to go. It's the arts and culture, from the zoos to the libraries to the botanical gardens to Broadway to pop-up film schools on open streets. Arts and culture are New York. And so we've got this survey. It takes 30 seconds, and we're breaking it down. And right now, close to 95% of the almost 3,000 people that have taken the survey have rated it either a 4 or 5 of importance in their lives out of a 5-point scale. And we're trying to get to a hard and fast 3,000 before the end of the year. And that's going to help us in advocacy around the budgeting season, which comes up very, very quickly in the spring.
There you have it. So that link is in the description. Please fill that out. So once again, we want to remind you that you can watch any of the films that you may have missed. All right. So even if you came to the festival in person, Mark can vouch for me. It was a lot going on, right? So some of us didn't get a chance to see all of the films that we wanted to see. So you can feel free to go to filmfestivalflix.com, and the link to the actual different film carousels and or blocks is in the description. I can't stress that enough. Also in the description, there's a link to our virtual networking event. This will be hosted by myself, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But basically, you'll be able to sign up and register to an online event platform. And we will have expo booths, and we will be able to talk to each other, see each other's face to face. You can create your own sessions, whatever you want to talk about. You can create a session, and filmmakers can join you. You can network with other filmmakers and set up meetings, all of these great things. All you have to do for free is go to the link in the description, click the link, and register yourself for that event. So I think we want to put a little bit of energy before we talk to the panel into letting the people know what you can expect when you actually sign up to filmfestivalflix.com. So we have a quick actual explainer video. So we're going to play that right now. All right, let me get that on the screen for you. Let's do it. So it's saying select the, you know what? I know some audio here.
Create your password for your unique Film Festival Flix account. Place your account has been created.
Film Festival, the festival of the rest of all. Film Festival Flix.
All right, so me, myself, I've used Film Festival Flix myself to watch films last year. It's not the first time Queens World Film Festival has used Film Festival Flix. I want to say it's the second. Is that correct, Preston? Is the second time? The second year?
Right. This is year number 2 with Film Festival Flix.
And give us a little background on Film Festival Flix. How did we end up connecting with them?
Well, my recollection, it was through a friend of Katha's who had a connection to Film Festival Flix, of all things. Wouldn't you know? It went back quite a number of years, and this contact had been working with them for some time, doing their outreach and programming. So it seemed to be like a natural connection. And Film Festival Flix has been around for, I think, over for 10 years. And they have a number of film festivals that are going on at the same time. And they're very credible. They're filmmaker friendly. And they want the most for all of the film festivals that they have. They have some terrific film festivals that are on there. One of them is Ashland International Film Festival, which is in Oregon, which is one of the great film festivals, as is Queens World Film Festival, which is one of the great film festivals.
Absolutely. So what you're looking at is the Queens World Film Festival's page on Film Festival Flicks. You can see the individual films and you can click on them, watch their trailer. You can read the synopsis, read about the filmmakers. And when you get a film ticket that's in one of the blocks, right? One of the blocks or carousels, what happens is you'll end up getting a ticket to the whole carousel. So for example, here where it says narrative plus doc features, if I clicked on here and click to see more, and if your internet is faster than mine, you would have seen this a lot quicker. But then you can either watch the trailer of the film or you can go ahead and actually buy the ticket, and it will give you a ticket to watch all of the films on that particular block and or carousel.
If I may, sorry, it's actually just the short blocks give you access to all of the shorts in one carousel. But if it's a carousel with features, the features are priced individually. You can watch all the features under our All Access Pass, which gives you all the shorts and features.
Right.
But the only full carousels are the short carousels.
Okay, so let me see if I can find an example. Well, basically, because you're right, there's another way you can just simply click on tickets, and you'll see that you can also get individual tickets to some. So some of the films, you have to watch them individually, right? You have to buy the ticket individually, correct, Sam? Right,
Correct,
and
that's for features.
right. So what you might want to do is just go ahead and get the all access pass for $50, and on the actual tickets page, you'll be able to see that. So you can
Right, because that would be. Is it all? What is it? 100? How many films?
120.
How many, Sam?
122 films.
Yes.
Right, for $50. I can't do that math, but that's like, what is that? 50 cents a movie, I think. Yeah.
I'd call it a great deal.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna plunk down the $50 so I can see everything.
Exactly. So we do have some people trying to join the room. Kathy, you may want to sit next to Preston, or Preston, you might want to sit next to Kathy. I don't know. I think she's coming to you. I think she's coming to you. And we're going to start bringing people on. And as we do that, let's start talking to our filmmakers, our resident filmmakers as well. Starting with you, Irvi. Irvi, can you tell us about your film, please?
So my documentary is called Chakras, and it's about the 7 chakras that we have in our body, and it's about spirituality, and it teaches you how to it just teaches you the basic fundamental information about what the chakras are and how you can tap into them and align them and try and become a better spiritual person. And I was wondering how I was going to make this relatable to people who don't necessarily know spirituality or don't believe in it. So I brought a little bit of science into it. So some of the research that I had done was that the 7 chakras align with your immune system and your endocrine system. So once you start doing meditation and start to master and align your chakras, your body becomes healthier and you're more awoke and aware of stuff. And so it really helps with your system. A lot of people who are sick start meditating, and it helps a lot as well, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So I wanted to bring this story up to people who might need it.
It's funny you say that because I literally know of examples of people who've gotten sick and don't know why, but the only thing that they could think of was they were just really stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I could see how meditating can help.
Yeah, of course. It's literally just about aligning yourself and grounding yourself into one spot and just being there for a moment. And it's peace. And that's what you want to experience at least once in your life. So I wanted to, and I grew up reading a lot of Indian historical books and stuff like that. So I was like, this is really interesting. Let me tell people about it. So I chose this. This documentary was actually for Don's class. And he was like, put it in the film festival. You'll do so well. So I'm so grateful that they chose me as well for that.
What was? I mean, it's obvious he was teaching film, right? But
Yes,
in
he was
specific
teaching a documentary class.
documentary film.
Yeah.
Just a point here. Other jury members are the ones who selected the film.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It wasn't just me. I have to sort of put myself aside when that happens.
Hmm.
So there's no favoritism.
As an interesting statistics, 37 very tough emails went out before the really fun emails went out to people who we know are good friends of ours, alumni, people who are connected to board members, etc., who were not selected. So yeah, we're kind of sensitive to that. We just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're not pushing our students, etc., forward. This year happened to be a really good year for, I think, 3 people that have studied for you that their work was selected.
Yeah, I can attest to that too. I also was on the screening committee, and if I see a film of somebody I know, even if I know them just in passing, I know this person, so we all know that I can't really judge that particular film because it may have we don't want to have any nepotism. So it's definitely a really honest process we go through when it comes to selecting films. So I think it should be said that just because she's a student doesn't mean she got picked for that.
Right.
Yeah, I was. Don and Katha didn't actually know I had submitted my film, so I was like, okay, is it gonna be picked or not? I hope it gets picked, fingers crossed. And then I got the email, and I was like, oh, thank God.
So tell us this: what was your experience at the Queens World Film Festival this year?
Well, I've never actually been to a film festival, so it was a very new, fresh experience for me. And I got to see so many different films. And as a filmmaker, you learn to break down everything you watch. And I was able, I tried not to, but it's very hard not to do that. So, but it was very interesting watching how people have created their films as well. And it gave me inspiration for my next projects as well, which I'm really grateful for.
Did you meet a lot of filmmakers?
Yes, I did. Yep, I did.
That's
It
my
was-
favorite part.
Yeah. I like to hear how their experience was when they were creating the films.
Absolutely. So, Mark Acito, producer of Mad Woman. Can you tell us a little bit about your film?
My film is a short film musical.
Mhm.
I created it because I wanted to prove that I could make film musicals affordably. I am a Broadway guy, a librettist and a director, and the development of new musicals has just gotten prohibitively expensive. And the point of entry, there are so many barriers to entry for so many people, particularly those who are underrepresented and from their, for whatever particular group they're in, and as well as just the material that that might be weird or offbeat. In my case, this is a rock musical that features the music of Storm Large. She's a singer-songwriter. She also stars in it, and it's a very gritty and surreal story about a woman whose husband beats her senseless, and then she searches her mindscape for a way out of the marriage. So it's not it's not necessarily an easy watch, and I filmed it in the height of COVID in the summer of 2020. And they were in Portland, Oregon, and I was in New York City directing over Zoom. It was in just every limitation possible was there, and that was, I think, part of what is the proof that you can actually do this, is that there is a way to be able to make an actual musical on a very low budget. And that's my TED Talk. Thank you.
So, well, we're going to need a little bit more because you said something really interesting. You said you directed.
Why, thank you.
You said you directed a lot of it on Zoom, correct?
I directed all of it on Zoom.
All of it on Zoom. But it's very well done, right? So when you watch it, it's very well done. The cinematography is on point, right? So this team that you worked with to produce it, did you know them in advance for you to trust them with giving you a
Nope.
quality project? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No, the producers and Storm. Storm is an old friend, and the producers are old friends. So I did have, people in the room who I knew, who I loved and loved me. But the rest of the crew was Portland, Oregon crew, and I lived in Portland for 20 years, but I haven't been back in over 10 years. So I didn't know people in the indie film space, and of course they were also very young. And so yeah, there was a big leap of faith. I mean, the idea that really does make sense is that very often a director is actually not on set anyway. They're at Video Village. You're watching the monitor through the camera. And my thinking was, well, the way satellite feeds can work, there's no reason why Video Village could be 300 feet away or 3,000 feet away.
Absolutely.
Which is a great idea in theory, but in execution, it just didn't work. We couldn't get it to work because we were working under such constraints. It was all filmed in the producer's basement, so I wasn't able to actually see through the camera. So I was like an old-time movie director in the back, while behind the camera person. But what's more, I was just a disembodied head in a screen on a on a rolling chair that they would sort of push me around.
Right.
So there was a lot of posts. Let's put it that way. It was 15 months to edit a 15-minute movie.
Wow.
Because there was the footage was beautiful, but I had to then definitely rethink a lot of how I was going to present it.
Did you have a lot of reshoots, or it was
Nope.
Okay.
No. That was it was all in the can, and that was that. I mean, I will say actually, there was one day when it was 2 6-day shoots, and the first one, there was, at the end of the day, I didn't really, when I was reviewing the footage, I asked them, can we please come back and do some of that again the next day? But it wasn't like we came back, after the fact.
Right.
So, no, there was a lot of, there's a lot of CGI. There was one moment in the film, actually, you'll never be able to tell. Actually, this is why you need to watch the movie, because there is a moment where I have a shot of Storm in the bed. It's probably the longest take, and we had a wardrobe malfunction, and her breast fell out of the nightgown, and I got this incredible compositor. I'm going to forget her last. Sorry, I'm going to forget her last name. Anyway, Varshini is her first name. And she did an amazing job, and she actually created digitally the other half of the nightgown, which, if anybody knows anything about CGI, well, it's like 15 seconds, and that's however many thousands of frames, and it has to move with her body. You'd never see it. You can't tell.
Wow.
It's extraordinary.
You said this is the compositor?
Yes.
You said Varsity?
Varshini, Naveen, Kumar. There we go. I got it. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so talented, and she really saved me on that one.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, because it was, and everybody just said, "Well, don't you have other coverage?" And I said, "Yeah, but that's the shot." I mean, Storm just like ripped open her soul, in addition to bearing her soul as well as bearing her breast. So I just thought, I gotta use that shot.
Right.
So we just used that shot.
Right. Well, congratulations to you both. All right. If you have time, Mark, definitely stick around. No, Irvi has to leave. So, Irvi, thank you for joining us. And I'm going to bring up Matt as you on your way out.
All right.
As well as hello, my
friend Cordelia.
So we have 2 new people to the panel, right? So Cordelia is my fellow board member. Great to see you.
Hello.
Virtual hugs. And Matt's a filmmaker, and want to put your film next to your name, you can. But definitely nice to see you, Matt. It was great meeting you at the festival. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great meeting you too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get back to you too, but we want to talk to Sam really quick because the mic was kind of going that way. Sam didn't get a chance to say much. Sam, what was your experience this year as an actual festival coordinator? It was a lot of moving pieces. You stayed calm the whole time. Every time I seen you, you were in great spirits, smiling behind the desk somewhere while work was happening. What was your experience this year at Queens World Film Festival 2022?
Um, yeah, this year was definitely a good amount of work and a good amount of moving parts, but it was a great experience. I got to talk to a lot of filmmakers and create somewhat of a relationship with them. They were trusting me with their films and trusting me to get their film up online and make sure everything was okay. And I got to have a sneak peek of every film in the festival, so can't beat that. Yeah, but it was really a great experience. It was a lot of work, but
Um,
Katha and Preston really care about the filmmakers, and so that came first every step of the way. The filmmakers, and I feel like we had a great outcome. The virtual fest has all the best films. No offense to the live festival, but yeah.
so Nick is shouting Mark out. I love your films. She must have been typing really rough. She's on the road too. So that was for you, Mark. If you saw that from Neha, and I'm sure she'll come up a little later. And once again, salute to you, Sam. You were so calm under pressure. So how did you end up becoming a festival coordinator? How did that happen?
I don't know.
I will tell. I will tell.
Do tell.
Yeah. Okay. So this summer we had a little bump in the road that was really quite shocking to us in terms of a health situation for Preston that came up out of nowhere. And when I finally came home from the hospital, I called Sam and I was in tears. And I said, "We've got to keep going. That's what he wants. That's what he has said. And can you do this?" And she talked me off the ledge. I did get back on the ledge several times, but that particular moment knocked me off the ledge. And she's remained incredibly steady all the way through, and it's given me a lot of confidence. But there's a word that she loves, and it's audit. And that's the favorite thing that Sam likes to do. Sometimes he'll call me like on a Monday morning and say, "Can we audit the films? Can we audit all the spreadsheets, please?"
That sounds like a partnership with Evan right there. That's yeah. So Sam, have you ever done event planning before this? Because you were very, like I said, you were very natural and calm under pressure. Is this your first time, or you've done this plenty of times before, as far as event planning and?
Yeah, no. So it's funny because I'm actually on the other side of production usually, the side where it's more during the process, holding a camera maybe. And this coordination role, it was definitely something outside of my comfort zone, but due to what I've learned from Katha and Preston in the past, I felt confident enough to take it on. And me and Katha's favorite word, auditing, was played a very big role in it. And yeah, I feel like I knew everything I needed to do because I've had Katha and Preston in my life for long enough now.
Right. Well, you did an amazing job. I can't say that enough. And I for sure was happy every time I saw you. So.
No, I love seeing you. Best part.
And Cordelia, how was it this year not just this, because I believe one of the questions later on that Catherine want to ask is like in regards to how long we've been board members. So I don't want to date us. We're going to leave that off the table. But how was it in being part of the film festival as a board member, just in general?
Well, in general, I would say this year the board we've brought people like you on, and it's a lot more peppy, and it's really great to see board members involved and at the events and passionately talking about the festival out to people. I think that Katha and Preston obviously do a great job of that, but it's great to have people like you there and representing it all the time. for me, I was actually sick for the entire time, so I couldn't go. The first night that I wasn't that sick, I had a terrible cough, and I was like, nobody likes somebody with a cough at a movie screening. And then I just went downhill. So I didn't get to go see anything.
So the main reason we're doing a virtual festival is so
Right.
that
So
dealing
now
with everything.
I get a virtual festival, so now I can go hear more and listen to all these things that I've seen virtually, heard about virtually, and now I can actually go watch them. Because unfortunately, in the time of COVID, nobody wants somebody who's not looking top notch sitting next to them.
Yeah, people probably would have got scared. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. I was very frightening for a bunch of days. So
I'll say this: I seen you at the kickoff event, right?
Yeah,
but I was very busy, between different venues and moving around and had people and stuff. So I thought I didn't know. First of all, I hope you feel better. I hope you're feeling better already.
I'm just starting to recover now, but yeah.
Great. And I had no idea. I thought we were just missing each other.
Right.
But we're definitely going to turn up in the virtual leg of the festival starting today. And I don't know if you heard earlier, but next Sunday, we're going to be having an actual online networking event where people can actually meet each other, and all of this virtually, right? All in one actual space. So definitely sign up to that, and I'll remind you in the email later.
And what I would say is the kickoff event, it's just fun after this period of virtual. It was just fun to see all the filmmakers talking to each other. It is fun because I remember last year when some of the things were in person. There's still, even if one of the screenings in Long Island City that was outside, even there, people were so tentative about talking to anybody that wasn't within their group of people.
Right.
So it's so good to be inside and see people talking again and see creativity rising, out of that experience.
Right.
So.
I can legit say I needed that because I for one was definitely social distancing this whole pandemic. I definitely I was very on top of that. So stick around. I want to go to Matt. All right, Matt, you're the director and producer of 3:33 a.m.
That's correct, and also writer too.
And the writer too. Okay, so I want you to tell us a little bit about your film, and then I'll play the 33-second clip, which is the trailer to the film. But give us a synopsis of the film because we want people to watch it if they missed it in person.
Yeah, definitely. It's about a young, insecure husband who comes home during the witching hour and tries to reconnect with his wife. However, all of her time and attention goes to their child. In his attempt, he gets rejected and becomes somewhat bitter and resentful, and it sort of leads to some escalating stuff that goes on in their home. And I sort of wanted to explore sort of toxic masculinity and domestic abuse, as well as the folkloric elements of the witching hour, as well as I was also inspired by the Trinity, the wife, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, which in Hebrew means feminine, with these three different characters in the film. And I sort of left the ending open for interpretation. The audience can determine whether this was real or imaginary or a dream or something real. And I've gotten some different responses so far about how people have interpreted it, which is great. I think people are more than welcome to give their interpretation of it.
Okay, I want to ask. I want to pose this question to both Matt and Mark, and starting with you, Matt. How important was the topic of domestic violence when you were creating this film? Like, did you set out to make a film about DV for another reason, or did it a script? It just came to you. You just decided to write it. How did that work?
It just came to me. I started writing it in 2018, and a lot of it was influenced by the Trump administration. At the time, he had made that he appointed that person to the Supreme Court, and the trials came out, and it just got really ugly. So that had a lot to do with it. It also had a lot to do with the costume choice of the father character. If you notice, he wears like a red tie and a blue suit, which is, familiar to who was in office. And I was also inspired by separation of families, which happened at the time. I don't want to give anything away, but you'll notice something at the end of the film in regards to their child. So that was something that influenced that as well.
All right. And Mark and yourself, What inspired you to create a film about domestic violence?
It came directly from Storm and her music. So I looked at, the music had already been produced, and it's a commercial album. And so I looked at her songs and thought, okay, no, what's a story that could match these songs? And Storm's music is primarily about mental illness and female empowerment.
Mhm.
And that instantly took me down the rabbit hole of the idea of the mad woman in the attic, like in Jane Eyre. And that led me to a short story, which is a sort of a absolutely cornerstone text for women's studies. An 1893 short story called "The Yellow Wallpaper," which I highly recommend. It's sort of a gothic Edgar Allan Poe kind of tale about a woman who was locked alone in her room by her husband, and she starts to believe that there are people behind the yellow wallpaper. And so, as I look to adapt that, that led itself very naturally to the subject of domestic violence. Again, it was during the pandemic, so I was definitely thinking about all the women who were being quarantined with their oppressors. Also, my mother was twice beaten senseless and woke up in a pool of her own blood by two different raging boyfriends. So it's a subject that is personal to me, and it was one of the reasons why it was so important to me to have an all-female crew, because I wanted to create a subjective experience that was as divorced from the male gaze as possible. So in some ways it was an advantage not actually seeing it, because I literally wasn't gazing at it. And in order to be able to get, and that crew really did provide a lot of oversight to me, to the point where we actually made changes to the script.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, and speaking of collaboration, shameless plug. I produce a podcast for a young lady who started a nonprofit on domestic violence called Silence Kills. I would love to get you both and or some of the cast members from your films to interview with her before this whole virtual film festival is done. Is that possible?
Absolutely. Well, you can see I'm actually very shy and don't like public speaking, but I guess for you, I'll break out of my comfort zone. And I bet my buddy Matt will too. Matt and I are like, he was like my movie going bestie, and introduced me to the best dumplings in Queens while we were there.
Hey, this was just a really great time to be outside. I just want to say that the weather was nice. All of the venues, the restaurants that partnered with us, just the area, the people that came out. It was just a great time, and I look forward to just extending that vibe on the virtual tip right now. So, but you're right. As far as like the food, there was a lot of great food and a lot of great networking. I had my festival buddies. Everybody, paired up with people and networked really good. And that was one of the things I wanted to stress during the kickoff in person was that I just think that the cohorts of different film festivals, everybody should really just use the time to really network with each other and build some lasting relationships. So that's really good to hear. And we have only about a couple more people that want to get on the panel. But before we do that, speaking of networking, I just want to show you guys kind of what it'll look like when you click the link to join the networking event for this Sunday coming up. Not obviously not today, but next Sunday, the 27th. And basically, you click on this link right here at the top or under the description to register, and you can register to be part of our networking event, which will be all virtual. And first, you'll go to this landing page. You'll see a little bit about us. And these are some of the expo booths you will see there, right? So basically, all of the film blocks and or carousels are present there. If you don't see them now, you see them during the week. And when the event actually starts, you'll be able to click on those expo booths when you join the actual networking site.
I'm sorry, is that on the Queens World Film Festival site or is that on the Film Festival Flex site?
This is not on the Queens World Film Festival site. This is an actual event page. It's like a whole a world in itself But we'll put the link up and we'll email everybody from the Queens World Film Festival site, and we'll email everybody. But the link is in the description for this actual live as well. So you'll be able to register and join. And just to give you a heads up of how the actual website works, is a website called Hopin as well. So you'll be taken to a registration area, and in this registration area, you can kind of make an agenda. You'll be able to see the people who are part of the actual event. You'll be able to contact them. Right now, it's just me, so I need some other people to register. So I can't talk to myself. I mean, I can, but it's not healthy. But you'll be able to make actual contacts with the people you see, make appointments with them, and we'll have a lot of actual events going on, live broadcasts, which you'll see on the main stage. You click main stage, and you'll be able to see the live actual talks that we'll do. If you want to create a session yourself, you just click on Sessions tab, and you'll be able to create a session. And you can talk about your film. You can create your own Q&A. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about actually here, because we trust you. It's the honor system, as long as it's nothing too crazy, right? No, no acts of violence and things of that nature. Don't provoke no riots or anything. And then you can go to the networking tab where you can speed network and just click join now, and you'll be able to pair up with random filmmakers and talk to them from, say, 30 seconds to a minute. And once again, you can actually see the expo booths. We'll add some more, but some of the expo booths are basically representing the carousels and or film blocks. You click on the expo booth, and you'll be able to talk to whoever's in the expo booth. On all of these tabs, you can chat with the actual whole event or where you are, right? So pay attention to the tabs. Technology is very specific, right? So this is the chat with people in the whole event. This is the chat where you are. Well, you can be in that expo booth, and you can watch some trailers or some films, and then of course you'll be politely prompted to actually go watch a film, which you'll be able to see this link right here. Pick a film and watch today. Click on that link, and it'll take you to the actual film page on Film Festival Flix, where you can actually buy the ticket for that block and or carousel of films. All right. So that is a quick walkthrough on how to network at the networking event. And we will have a live talk called How to Fest. This will talk about the virtual fest and its film festivals in general. I'll be talking with my good friend Anthony Curry, the producer and director and main star of Trap. We have a lot of news, has some great interviews that will premiere here. Earlier today, we interviewed the producer for We Still Here, a documentary on things that happened in Puerto Rico that also played in the Queens World Film Festival, and that will play actually during the schedule here during the networking event. So the page will be open for a few days. So it'll be open next Sunday, but you can come for the next 3 days and network with people. So now that I said a whole mouthful, I just wanted to just plug that. Please, once again, I don't want to be in there talking to myself. So everybody just sign up, register, and join us on Sunday. All right. So we have Patty in the background as well. So let me see. We want to keep 3 people on the screen. So all right. You can stick around. We just want to put it on the screen. All right, there we go. So let's bring Patty on. Patty, how you doing? You're on mute. You're on mute, Patty. There we go. Somehow we still can't hear you. And this is the beauty of virtual production. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes these things happen. You might want to go to your settings and make sure your mic is registered as whatever mic you're using. If it's the system you're on, that is on the bottom of the screen. Settings, and then click audio, and then just register your mic as whatever mic you'll be using. Patty, sit tight. We're going to bring you right back as you work that out. And really quick, we want to bring on one of the superstars of the festival. We're going to bring on Annie really quick.
How is everyone doing?
We're excellent. Good to see you.
Yes, I'm missing everyone. I'm having withdrawal symptoms. I want live festival again.
Well, we're gonna keep the party going virtually. Thank you for coming. I know you said you were really busy and you may or may not have made it. I know you wanted to
I
pull
really
up.
wanted to make it. I pulled out of the shoot just to see you, Em. I pulled out of the shoot early.
I was expecting to see you on the phone driving home or something like that, but you actually made it home safe, sound. You got your set looking great. You got your easel in the background. Let me give you. Go ahead, let me blow that up. Tell us about your film, Buddha's Wife, please.
Firstly, do you know Buddha had a wife?
No, I didn't. Not until this. I didn't know.
Of course, until you come to the festival. So basically, that's what triggered me. That while the whole world knows that they know Buddha and they know that he was enlightened, people don't know that he had a wife too, and that she too was enlightened, and she had an equally powerful journey that not many people know of, and it's a story worth saying. I've been working on this project for almost 8 years now, and I wanted to do it like big project, but then my professor who's here, my script writing professor, he encouraged me saying, in order to move big mountains, break it down into smaller rocks and start moving a rock first, start moving it as a short first, and like try your hand at this subject because it is so important to you. And then that sort of encouraged me to make this film. And we did it, and we played on the big screen, and we had a premiere in New York. It was so exciting. I'm so thrilled about it. And like today, the whole film is available worldwide. Like I think people in India back home are doing watch party. They send me messages and they're organizing things, and I'm just so excited that this is happening for the film.
Well, congratulations, and we are excited. And that is a very important part of his story. And like you said, it's not popular knowledge. It's not common knowledge that Buddha had a wife. So I'm glad you did this project. I would have guessed, and it was just been an assumption. I don't claim to be like an expert on Buddha or anything, but I would have guessed he was celibate because of him being enlightened. I would have thought he was like a monk and just didn't abstain from having any type of partnership. So can you tell us a little bit more about, without giving away the whole film, about how it was for him being
thank you for seriously, thank you for asking this, because this is a general misconception. When people think about spirituality or pursuing higher consciousness, they feel that okay, they have to abstain from sexuality, they have to abstain from normal life, and they have to be celibate and just abandon everything. And that's what this film is challenging, that if abandoning is the root, then how did she achieve why without abandoning anything, anyone, and all of that. It's like that the film is asking some very fundamental questions, and there were 3 particular questions that she asked him, which made him realize that she knows it too, like she discovered it too, without having to leave, without having to abandon, without having to because he left in the middle of the night on his childbirth. The night his wife delivered the baby, he abandoned, he ran away. So can you imagine, like, and he was a playboy before. Like not many people know that, and I want to show that whole thing. I want to show the whole story. I want to pull out the rugs from under the feet of people, that okay, all these glorified people, yeah, great, fine, we see the glorified lives, but they've had their own share of craziness which they've dealt with in the past, and that's what makes them who they are. Also another thing that my film sort of tackles is that when you talk about women empowerment, it automatically becomes male bashing. Understood as okay, empower woman is equal to male bashing. So she must be bashing Buddha here, left, right, and center. She must be bashing all the men. That's not the idea. It's such a freaking rotten idea that we're not interested in rubbing his line out. We're just interested in rubbing her, drawing her line bigger, and just saying that while history is his story, there is also her role in equal measurement, if not more, each stage of our lives as humans. And I think that's what I'm trying to just bring it through this short, just open up an inquiry, and depending on how it goes, I want to see the whole story, hopefully.
Right. You brought up a really good point, right? So I find the same thing with racism and all the other isms, right? When you actually defend yourself, people act like it's some type of slight on the person or the caricature of the oppressor, right? So, for example, if I'm being pro-black, some people may think that means I have to be anti-white, right? But that's not the case. Not the case at all, right? So to be a feminist doesn't mean you hate men, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I'm glad you brought
No,
that.
I love men. but you know this. Sorry, Kaka. That's like this girl needs some training. Okay, but
We encourage being ourselves around.
yeah, thank you. I know. But you know, the another thing that I just wanted to talk about very quickly was that you know this film, you know, while it has substantial content, there's also great amount of technical talent involved. We did music of this film in 5 countries, and that's something that I'm very proud of sharing. And those 5 countries are doing watch parties, so I'm just looking forward to what these countries' responses are going to be.
That's amazing. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. That's amazing. And it's a very well shot film. I'm glad I didn't get to see it in person, so I missed out on being able to see it on a big theater, on a big screen rather. But I'm going to do my own watch party as well.
Oh, thank you so much. In fact, Mark was there, Matt was there, and Katha was there for my live screening. Dawn has seen pretty much every stage of my film, and I think Sam is going to see it virtually. So yes, I have my audience here already. I'm so excited.
I really wanted to come, but I was putting out a fire. But with that being said, I'm glad we have the virtual leg of the festival.
Yes.
It's really going to allow me to watch all the films that I didn't get a chance to watch.
Yeah.
And we want to try to bring Patty back on
Right.
really quick to see if our video worked out, because we do have to get out of here by 9, because at 9 on the Queens World Film Festival, we're going to premiere an episode of Pain to Power from Maria from Brown Girl Interrupting, and she is going to have the crew from Make Us Visible. So we're going to keep
Clara.
Clara and the rest of the team, the creative director. So we're going to bring on Patty real quick, because I don't want to go
Thank
over
you.
time. Just stay put. We don't know if the mic is going to work. Stay put. We'll be right. We might have to bring you right back. Let's check. Let's see. And Patty? Nope. Okay, Patty.
Okay, but let's not let Patty go away, because for 12 years from the beginning, anything that we have ever needed, ever asked of Patty, she has just quietly slid right into pace and just brings the younger festival associates along. She has such respect for all the creatives. She's loaded our car. She's unloaded our car. She's brought us food. She's just really been there for the festivals for 12 years. It's just really gratifying. Her husband was a jury member, and you know, we've just we've lucked out with the people that this festival attracts, and Patty is just really, you can't get better than Patty. You can't.
I second that.
Yeah, I third. And I want to agree with what Matt said in the chat. Matt said Patty was so welcoming at the festival. So I want to agree. So every time I saw Patty, every time I saw Sam, even when I saw Neha, it was always a pleasure. But we're saying thank you to Patty right now. So thank you, Patty. That's definitely. So sit tight. We definitely had to give you your flowers, whether your speaker was working or not. And in true Patty form, you were humble about it because the mic didn't work. You couldn't. There's nothing to say. But no, we really love you, and we're gonna bring Neha back. And as we wrap up, because we definitely want to hear what Clara and the rest of the team has to say, because they're going to have a great interview with Maria from Brown Girl Interrupting. In closing, and we'll start with Sam, because Sam has to say something anyway. After you say what you say, Sam, just give us a reason why everybody should go out and watch the films on the virtual leg of the festival. Sam?
Yeah, I'll answer your question first so I don't forget it. You know, even if you miss some films, there are films that I can't wait to watch a second time. Definitely, if you can, get the all access pass and watch every film that you can, because we have selected some of the best filmmakers in the world. I'll say it. And I do, leaning into what I was going to say, I would love to point out that we have a special re-releasing of Preston Cato and Katha Cato's film, Be My Oswald. It is up on filmfestivalflix.com. Special re-releasing. When was this film made, Preston?
What's that?
When was this film made?
Well, we shot it, the shooting stopped in 2001, and it took another 5 years to edit, and then it was remastered in 2017.
Amazing.
All I can say about that film is ho ho bang.
Yeah.
Be prepared or not.
I actually own that film on DVD, believe it or not.
Right. Oh my God.
That's one.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There it is.
I definitely have that film on DVD.
Oh my God.
Yep. And this is just a couple clips we just wanted to show you. All right. So definitely watch the release.
Down. Let's
Look
see
at
from the very beginning.
Yeah. Beginning.
It's a great film, everybody. Please check it out. I watched it for the first time, and it was something. You laugh, you sit on the edge of your seat, you get confused, and then you laugh again. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Really, God, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
it's kind of
And
amazing.
some great special effects for the time that it was made.
Yeah.
Yes, the bullet scene, amazing.
Oh, the balloons.
The balloons. The balloons. The balloons. The balloons.
And
we had a great time making that film.
And it's like it's kind of has a Christmassy theme in there somewhere. I don't want to give it all away. So with that being said, we're going into the holidays. So go ahead and watch that, but don't expect like an average Christmas movie in that. I'm just saying, it's just a little. It's a hint of Christmas in there. Let's just say that.
A hint.
There you go. They said some things without saying too much. So Mark, Matt, Neha, I'll start with Mark. Give us give the audience some motivation to go ahead and click that link and get it all. Well, you said it. I like how you said it earlier. $50 for 122 films, but let's just double down on that really quick, Mark.
Yeah, what struck me about the festival was the while there are a lot of difficult subjects, a lot of artists are processing a lot of pain right now, just like everyone in the world is processing a lot of pain right now. And I'll quote Helen Keller here, where she said that even though the world is full of suffering, it's full of the overcoming of it. And I always take great comfort with that, because I thought, who got dealt a worse hand than Helen Keller? And so, what have I got to complain about? But the point being is that I think it's a very healing festival. I think it's cathartic, allows you to just, like I said, you're able to really work through a lot of pain, but that truly get to the other side of it as well. So I think it's a really great gift to give yourself this time of year.
Absolutely. I agree.
Thank you.
Said a lot of filmmakers were working through it seemed to be a lot of post-pandemic pain too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Matt?
I think one of the things that Katha mentioned in one of the pre-kickoff parties was how Don curated all these different short film blocks based on theme. And for me, I know Katha saw me running around to different screenings, and I definitely picked up on that. One of my favorite blocks was the baggage one, in which all these characters carry around all this emotional baggage. And other film festivals, you'll see like they'll do block A, block B. I'm not really sure why those short films are put together, but I feel like for this film festival, they were all curated for a purpose. And with the virtual leg, you have these different carousels that sort of complement that as well. So I feel like you're getting the best of both worlds, whether you saw it in person or you want to see it again. I think it's better to see it together as a block rather than just one short film at a time. Sort of like listening to an album,
right?
Listening from the first song to the last song, instead of just skipping to the fourth song or the eighth song.
Right.
Well done. I'm excited.
I like how you put that, because that's exactly what it is. Because he framed the actual scheduling and the blocks just like he would a film, right? So, but we don't want to get too much into that. But he storyboarded these carousels and or blocks. So I like how you said that, Matt. Thank you. Neha, any last words, any last motivations for people to go ahead and click the link and get them some tickets to watch these films?
Sure. Just to add to what Mark and Matt both said, curation is one of the biggest gifts that Don and Katha put to this festival, and I think Film Festival Flix has taken it to the next level, where they've created these 11 carousels, and each one is again dealing with a specific topic. And this is one thing that I would like to say, that we all put our happy pictures on social media, but we all as human beings still deal with our pain and our brokenness alone. We do not show that side to people, and this festival sort of gives you that opportunity to consume certain content, consume certain messages, consume certain healing, and be able to, like Mark said, overcome it in some way. Be able to have that healing balm applied to your heart or to that aching spot in you, and know that there is the space for you to heal. You are heard, you're acknowledged, and that's the biggest gift this festival gives to the filmmakers. And as filmmakers, we're giving through our stories to the world. So I hope people watching this and people all over the world are inspired to come check 122 films from 16 nations, starting from today till 4th of December on filmfestivalfix.com.
Excellent.
So good. You're so good.
She really is. She really is.
Man. Wow.
So Preston and Katha, take us out. It's on you. Take us out.
Take us out.
Take us out. I'll say bye now. Peace, everybody. I'll see y'all later.
Well,
from the beginning of time,
we have gathered in the darkened caves around the flickering lights to share our stories.
We've upgraded the caves, and the flickering lights are now zeros and ones.
But the impulse to gather remains. And it is in that gathering that you understand that they is us, them is we, and I'm just another you.